Yeah.
Dude,
Probably tasted like a handful.
in the 1980s in New Jersey, right? Not anymore. It's not true, but they used to
Almost
dump
vampire.
the trash out in the ocean all the time. New York City dumped their trash in the ocean. Parts of New Jersey would dump their trash in the ocean. It was just what they did with trash. So, and I don't even know if these are a thing anymore, but like the plastic tampon applicator, are you guys familiar with that
Yeah.
thing? That
Yeah.
fucking thing was like the New Jersey seashell. Like the whole beach was just covered. Like the plastic tampon applicators would rush in, and I couldn't go surfing without stepping on 3 tampon applicators on the New Jersey beach back in the 80s.
That's disgusting.
Yeah,
That doesn't
What's the
even
New
make sense.
Jersey beach?
it's better now, but
What is it?
it's
New Jersey
a
Beach.
plastic tampon application storage
what is New
facility.
Jersey?
I don't understand.
Where is it? It's in New Jersey?
Yeah. So Ocean City, New Jersey is where I grew up, and it's like on the southern tip of New Jersey.
When I was younger, my family used to go to Atlantic City and leave me in the hotel room while they gambled.
Nice. Yeah. So I'm about 15 minutes south of that.
Yeah, and then like we used to go there like as a family, and like the beach was pretty cool during the day, but then like as we got older, there would just start heroin needles would start showing up.
Dude,
Then the beach got really druggy and stuff, and there was like junkies everywhere.
when I was 20, I had a fake ID, and Jackie is a few months older than me. My wife was 21, and we went like gambling, right? And this guy kept giving my girlfriend, who's now my wife, money to like stand next to him and stuff. And he's like blowing the dice, and he would just feed her like $15, whatever. She made like $130 that night just standing next to this guy, and I couldn't figure out like where my value system was. It was like, do I value the money, or I'm kind of feeling cucked here, right? Like
Yeah.
here, doll, blow on these dice, and she's like, and then he'd roll them, and it was craps, and he just like throwing her chips now and then, and I even to this day I'm like, I don't know if that was worth it. But
No,
we really
you
like
Find that son of a bitch. I'm giving some chips.
He's probably
I'd
dead.
say you're not cucked as long as you take a cut. Then you're kind of just like pimping.
Her money
then
was
you're
my
like a
money.
manager.
Yeah, right. I was
you're
their
a
pimp.
manager, or
Speaking
on
of,
the streets, a
of-
pimp.
Of fake ID stories. I lost my fake ID when I was 20 years old buying cigarettes. My fake ID, because I was leaving to go to a friend's frat party in college, and he texted me and was like, hey, before you get here, stop and buy some cigarettes. And I was like, all right. So I stopped and did, and went up there, and the fake ID was just on top of my regular ID, and I'm like, well, I've used this before for booze, I'll just use it now. And so I used it, and the guy, I guess fucking Eagle Eyes McGillicuddy behind the counter was like, this is fake? And he was like, nuh-uh. And he's like, yes, it is. Do you want me to call the police? Do you want me to call the police? And I'm like, just give it back. He's like, no, you not allowed. And he said that you wouldn't give it back to me. Said he was going to call the police, which of course he wouldn't do. And a bunch of police officers in Columbia, Missouri on Mizzou's campus aren't going to waste the fucking time to come down and find some guy with a fake ID. But yeah, that was fucking disheartening. Losing a fake ID, purchasing something I was old enough to get without it. That was a real heart
He
blow.
took it from you?
Took it from me. Yeah. Very uncomfortable. It was, and there was someone behind me in line, so that was awful. So then I had to give him my real ID. Yeah, I had to give him my real ID to buy the cigarettes.
How many times? How many times did you replay that back in your head and be like, shit?
Oh my god! Like every Thursday, like always. Because it's one of those things where it doesn't matter at all in retrospect, but looking back, it's like, what a stupid, little, needlessly risky thing to do. Because I was like on top of the world with like, oh, look at this little piece of plastic. Which, looking back, like feeling it. At least now, like all the new IDs, like they're bendy. If you guys are from a state that has it to where you can tell a real one, you can bend it and touch the corners of it, and it won't break. Whereas some fake ones will break if you try and bend it, which is what they do here sometimes. But yeah, that fake they gave me, it was like half a centimeter thick of plastic, like not very real feeling. But yeah, that was so fucking stupid. Like a sticker on it, like
like you're
yeah.
you're a federal agent. You just
yeah,
you
it was
fold
for
up with the plastic.
Yeah, it was for Illinois, because Illinois apparently at the time in like 2009 or whatever was the easiest to fake. Yeah, it was just a perfect storm of shit ideas and stupidity. So it didn't even pan out.
We went to a nightclub in Florida. It was like a big dance club type thing. And my friends and I were all talking about our fake ID. So there's this long line to get in. And we're like, oh, man, I hope we don't get in trouble, fake IDs. It turns out they had plants in the line eavesdropping for people that had fake IDs. And he tells the bouncer, like, up front, like, hey, when you get to these guys, check their IDs because they're fake. And but
what a snitch,
right? But my ID, like, while it was fake, it was issued by the DMV. Like, I took my older brother's birth certificate to the DMV and had like a real. So there was no like proving it was fake. Like, it was my picture. It was everything but my name. And on top of that, once I got my fake ID. I got like a fake county ID. I got a fake library card. I had like an expired insurance card. I had like a credit card in there. I had so much fake shit. If they found my body and my wallet,
I'm Matt Woodworth, legal drinker.
I've got like 6 forms of identification. You know, not all of them with pictures and stuff. I've got a library card.
Identity.
I went to the local public library and got a library card just to like add to my.
Smart. That's really smart.
Yeah, so we get up there and he's like, "This is fake." I'm like, "It's not." You know, prove it. And he starts taking it apart. He's delaminating like 25% of it. It's real. Like he can't discover anything fake about it. We all got in. We passed the test.
There you go. And that's the moment where you turned around and you were like, you guys, you all made fun of me for going to get that library card. What now?
Oh, yeah. I had so much shit. I wish I could remember them all. But, yeah, I was loaded up on IDs.
I had a friend of a friend, more like an acquaintance is more fair, but he got into a scuff one night on campus with another group of guys, and they got into like a legit fight. They were all wasted, both groups of guys, late at night, up to no good, and the cops came, and this guy I knew gave the cop his fake ID as his identification, which is way more illegal than doing it trying to get beer or something, like telling a cop, this is who I am, Taylor Stevenson, or whatever it would say. And he gave it to him, and the cop didn't notice it because he was trying to book a bunch of people and get all the information down. And so he got booked into jail as someone else. And then the guy who was whose ID, it's not because it was a fake ID. It was because a real ID that he got from someone older. That's why they didn't catch it, now that I'm remembering. And the guy whose ID it was had to be told, like, the next day, like, hey, I know that you're in Michigan right now, but I got arrested as you last night, and so I just wanted to give you a heads up and let you know. And he had to be like, I mean, this guy was definitely not close friends. I got all this secondhand, but apparently he was like, "Are you shitting me? You got arrested as me? Like, I'm gonna have to call and tell him. I'm gonna have to have my parents talk to the cops and be like, hey, my son definitely wasn't there. He's here in Michigan with us, so he definitely didn't just stop by. He's been here for a few days." I have no idea whatever came of that and who got in the most trouble or what happened, but that was just crazy that in someone's drunkenness, they're like, oh, just fuck it. Get this guy in trouble. Like, it's just so shitty.
I would never do
I think I remember as a kid, the one thing that I did that was just like always a dumb thing was like speeding. Like, I would drive down streets when I got my license. Like, I would drive down, like, and I don't know, you could be driving when you're 16 here. Mm-hmm. I would, like, drive down a buddy's street, like, literally, like, 55 miles, like, on, like, a little residential suburban street just because, like, I'm not even thinking. Like, just not ever, like, thinking. Like, it was just so many dumb things like that when I was younger I remember doing.
I didn't even drink, really, with my fake ID. I just didn't like being excluded from places. I like the bar atmosphere. I like the casino. I wanted to, like, go to the floor and be the places I couldn't be. I'm not drinking.
I feel like you were really mature for your age, though.
It came and went. Sometimes I was mature. Sometimes I was a total idiot. But yeah, what I was athletic. Like, I swam in college and I swam in high school, and my body was my temple, and I just took really good care of it. And that's why I didn't drink.
Seems really silly to get a fake ID if you're gonna show up at bars and be like, "Oh, none for me," like, because you could have just
I get it.
$5 cover to just show up.
No, but that
I get it. When I had a fake ID and I was getting in places, like, I didn't even have the money to get drunk at the club. Like, I could buy like one drink. So
yeah,
it was just about being there.
It was about being
in
the
a strip club,
places
really cheap drinks.
Places that played music. Wait, strip clubs have cheap drinks?
Strip clubs have cheaper drinks because they want you to spend more money on the dancers. A lot
I
of them.
thought
makes
strip
sense.
clubs have, well, here at least they have really expensive drinks.
We
No,
got
not-
into
Welcome
we
to
went into a
St.
strip
Louis.
club. So I've got. So we went to a strip club one time, and in that particular one, if you were 18, 19, or 20, you could come in, but you couldn't drink. So they would stamp your hand with this lame ass stamp that would show up under the lights that were everywhere in the club. And so we're sitting there like drinking a Coke or whatever, and I'm like, this is such bullshit. We need alcohol to enjoy this experience. And then the guy next to me gets up and walks away and like leaves, like he drops his money, but his alcohol is there. And no, I'm not gonna drink his drink.
Okay,
That's
okay.
disgusting. But what I did do is I got a little alcohol and I washed the stamp off immediately. It dissolved. It was like, well, all right then. I'm 21 over here. Yeah.
That's such a
Yeah.
stupid system. Why would they not give you like a custom stamp?
No,
if you
they should
are-
do it the other way. If you drink, you get the stamp.
Yeah, that's
That's
the
the
way
smart
most
way.
places I've been.
Then you would have had to like go to that guy and like somehow press the back of your hand on the back of his hand.
Yeah.
We
And
used
that's
to do
your buddy
that.
an awkward
distracts him.
situation, but that's some sort of gang sign that I'm not aware of, so I end up in the Pigeon Boys.
Dude, when
You
I
never-
was
Pigeon-
when I was like 18 or something like that, this girl wanted like my stamp, right? So she takes my hand, licks the back of it, and then puts it on hers. And I'm like, she totally likes me. She didn't like me at all. She wanted my
You just
stamp.
want your stamp.
Right.
She really liked your stamp.
Yeah, but like she's licking the back of my hand. It was like the sexiest fucking thing that perhaps had
See-
happened in my life thus far.
Sure.
You know?
I wouldn't have thought like, oh my god, she likes me. I would have been like, oh my god, she's willing to have sex with anyone tonight, and it might be me.
You're probably smarter. No, I thought she was into me because she licked my hand. But once she got my stamp, I wasn't attractive anymore.
Well, that's why I would have been like, well, she doesn't even know this hand, and like she's just out here licking hands. Who knows what else she will lick?
Right?
Maybe I should hang around.
Oh, that thought crossed my mind. But yeah, I wasn't attractive after she was stamped.
Hand liquor.
Ugh.
Not into that.
I was into
No?
it. I was into
Are
just
you
about.
sure you didn't blow it right after the stamp thing?
Oh, there's a good chance of that.
Are
I'm
you
not
sure she wasn't like she like transferred the stamp and you're like, what else could I give you? This dick? And she was
Yeah.
like, no.
I've got a mushroom stamp you can lick, and then she probably walked away uncomfortable, or whatever you said. Anyway, sorry, bad joke. Oh,
All right.
anywho,
Quiet. Hey, we've got September AMA questions.
what
yeah.
good ones do we have? Because you have to wade through a lot of shit sometimes